Here.
When I think of the terrible things I said.
No, you were right.
I should speak that way to you, our friends, our guests.
Stop it, you're spoiling the whole invasion.
We're all in much better spirits these days. There's still excellent news of the invasion. The best part about it is I have a feeling friends are coming. Who knows? Maybe I'll be back in school by the fall. The joke is on us. Wednesday, the 2nd of July, 1944. The invasion seems temporarily to be bogged down. The Gestapo have found the radio that was stolen. Mr. Dussel says they'll trace it back and back to the thief, and then it's just a matter of time till they get to us. Everyone is low. Even poor Pim can't raise their spirits. I've often been downcast myself, but never in despair. I could take off everything if I write. But, and that is the great question, will I ever be able to write well? I want to so much, and I want to go on living even after my death. Another birthday has gone by, so now I am 15. I already know what I want. I have a goal, an opinion.
There it goes again, the telephone, Mr. Frank. Do you hear?
Yes, I hear.
But this is the third time, Mr. Frank, the third time in quick succession. It's a signal. I tell you it's me, trying to get us. For some reason, she can't come to us and she's trying to warn us of something.
Please, please.
You're wasting your breath.
Something has happened, Mr. Frank. For 3 days now, Meep hasn't been to see us. And today, not a man has come to work. There hasn't been a sound in the building.
Perhaps it's Sunday. We might have lost track of the days.
You, with a diary there. What day is it?
I don't lose track of the days. I know exactly what day it is. Friday, the 4th of August. Friday, and not a man at work. I tell you, Mr. Collar's dead. That's the only explanation. He's dead and they've closed down the building. And Meep's trying to tell us.
She'd never telephone us.
Mr. Frank, answer that. I beg you, answer it.
No.
Just pick it up and listen. You don't have to speak. Just listen to see if it's me.
Please, I ask you.
No. I've told you no. I'll do nothing that might let anyone know we're in the building.
Mr. Frank's right. There's no need to tell us what side you're on.
If we wait patiently, quietly, I believe that help will come.
I'm going down. Too late.
So you just wait here until we die?
I can't stand it.
Stop. Whose fault is it we're in here? We could have been safe somewhere, in America or Switzerland, but no. You had to keep your things. You couldn't leave when I wanted to. You couldn't leave your precious little furniture.
Don't touch me.
Look, Peter. The sky. What a lovely, lovely day. Aren't the clouds beautiful? You know what I do when it seems I couldn't stand being cooped up for one more minute? I think myself out. I think myself on a walk where I used to go with Pim, where the jonquils and the crocus and the violets grow down the slopes. You know the most wonderful part about thinking yourself out? You can have it any way you like. You can have roses and violets and chrysanthemums all blooming at the same time. It's funny. I used to take it all for granted. And now I've gone crazy about everything having to do with nature. Haven't you?
I've just gone crazy. I think if something doesn't happen soon, if we don't get out of here, I can't stand much more of it.
I wish you had a religion, Peter.
No thanks, not me.
Oh, I don't mean you have to be Orthodox or believer in heaven and hell and purgatory things. I just mean some religion. It doesn't matter what, just to believe in something. When I think of all that's out there, the trees, the flowers, the seagulls, when I think of the dearness of you, Peter, and the goodness of the people we know, Mr. Crawler, me, Dirk, the vegetable man, all risking their lives for us every day. When I think of those good things, I'm not afraid anymore. I find myself and God and I...
That's fine. But when I begin to think, I get mad. Look at us, hiding out here for 2 years, not able to move, caught here like waiting for them to come and get us. And all for what?
We're not the only people that have had to suffer. There's always been people that have had to, sometimes one race, sometimes another, and yet...
It doesn't make me feel any better.
I know it's terrible trying to have any faith when people are doing such horrible... But you know what I sometimes think? I think the world might be going through a phase. The way I was with Mother. It'll pass, maybe not for hundreds of years, but someday, I still believe, in spite of everything, that people are really good at heart.
I want to see something now, not 1,000 years from now.
But Peter, if you'd only look at it as part of a great pattern, that was just a little minute in the life. Look at us, going off at each other like a couple of stupid grown-ups. Look at the sky now. Isn't it lovely? Someday, when we're outside again, I'm going to...
She breaks off as she hears the sound of a car, its brakes squealing as it comes to a sudden stop. The people in the other room also become aware of the sound. They listen tensely. Another car roars up to a screeching halt. Anne and Peter come from Peter's room. Mr. and Mrs. Van Daan creep down the stairs. Dussel comes out from his room. Everyone is listening, hardly breathing. A doorbell clangs again and again in the building below. Mr. Frank starts quietly down the steps to the door. Dussel and Peter follow him. The others stand rigid, waiting, terrified. In a few seconds, Dussel comes stumbling back up the stairs. He shakes off Peter's help and goes to his room. Mr. Frank bolts the door below and comes slowly back up the stairs. Their eyes are all on him as he stands there for a minute. They realize that what they feared has happened. Mrs. Van Daan starts to whimper. Mr. Van Daan puts her gently in a chair and then hurries off up the stairs to their room to collect their things. Peter goes to comfort his mother. There is a sound of violent pounding on a door below. For the past 2 years we have lived in fear. Now we can live in hope. The pounding below becomes more insistent. There are muffled sounds of voices shouting commands, men's voices. Ach maschen, dach drinnen, ach maschen, schnell, schnell. The street door below is forced open. We hear the heavy tread of footsteps coming up. Mr. Frank gets 2 school bags from the shelves and gives one to Anne and the other to Margot. He goes to get a bag for Mrs. Frank. The sounds of feet coming up grows louder. Peter comes to Anne, kissing her goodbye. Then he goes to his room to collect his things. The buzzer of their door starts to ring. Mr. Frank brings Mrs. Frank a bag. They stand together waiting. We hear the thud of gun butts on the door, trying to break it down. Anne stands, holding her school satchel, looking over at her father and mother with a soft, reassuring smile. She is no longer a child, but a woman with courage to meet whatever lies ahead. The lights dim out, the curtain falls on the scene. We hear a mighty crash as the door is shattered. After a second, Anne's voice is heard.
And so it seems our stay here is over. They are waiting for us now. They've allowed us 5 minutes to get our things. We can each take a bag and whatever will hold us clothing, nothing else. So, dear diary, that means I must leave you behind. Goodbye for a while. P.S. Please, please, Meep or Mr. Crawler or anyone else, if you should find this diary, will you please keep it safe for me? Because someday, I hope,